What is wrong? Why can't two grown-ups sit down in a room and talk these things out?
Just days after hiring a new school police chief, Sarasota County Schools may be backpedaling on their school security plan. Plus, why people are complaining about Siesta Key, often referred to as the #1 beach in America. And a local father and son capture a Burmese python in the Everglades, why they're now making it their mission to hunt as many as possible. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC7 News at 11.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Jacqueline Matter. Topping our news tonight, more confusion about school security in Sarasota County. Superintendent Todd Bowden apparently trying to negotiate a new deal for school resource deputies with the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office, but it appears to have fallen apart. ABC7's Adam Cellini joins us live from the landings in Sarasota, where school board members say they received a call from the superintendent this morning. Adam, what can you tell us about this ongoing issue?
Well, Jacqueline, good evening. It certainly does seem to be an issue. We spoke with a few school board members today, both exhausted and downright distressed in their voices as they tried to explain what happened today. It seemed like good news at first, but now it appears to be another sign that the Sarasota County School District and the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office have a distressed relationship.
Are we all pulling in the same direction? I don't think so.
Monday has been a roller coaster for Shirley Brown and the rest of the Sarasota School Board, and it all started with a phone call.
The superintendent called us to say that he had someone that reached out to him after the discussions with the sheriff last week, that perhaps there could be ways that we could work together for the next school year.
Superintendent Todd Bowden's discussions were mediated by someone described as a member of the business community. Bowden told the board he was close to an agreement to keep school resource deputies next year and share the cost. But he and Sheriff Tom Knight never spoke. And now the Sheriff's Office has grave concerns regarding the inaccuracies of what the superintendent has announced.
I don't know how we can expect a superintendent to work with the sheriff on, securing our schools if the sheriff won't talk to the superintendent. That's just unacceptable.
With questions about having an internal police force ready by next school year, Brown hoped this could give them more time.
We'd put it on the back burner. But obviously we can't do that. We've got to move forward.
The district says they are moving forward with hiring sergeants and officers for their police force and have the majority ready by August 13th. If they aren't, they expect local law enforcement, sheriff's office included, will help close that gap. But after last week's meeting, Sheriff Knight said he could only spare 4 SRDs for the coming school year.
We have to do what's in the best interest of the children, and I would hope all the adults, will act like adults and come to the table.
After that public meeting last week, Sheriff Knight said in a letter that he wants to continue having these discussions, but in a public and transparent way. Well, the Sarasota County School Board will likely do just that at their regularly scheduled public meeting to be held here tomorrow afternoon. Reporting live in Sarasota, Adam Cellini, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Okay, Adam, thank you. Meanwhile, the Sarasota County School District is still investigating the man chosen to become chief of police for the school-based police department. According to the county, Paul Grahowski is under attack by a small group of people who are dissatisfied with his previous leadership. Before his application to work in Sarasota County, he was the director of public safety and chief of police at a community college in California. The group targeting Grahowski believes he made a mistake by combining 2 police forces there. As a response, the Sarasota County School District is continuing its background check and says if his personnel file and background check are clear, Chief Grahowski will be the school district's police chief. Sarasota police are investigating an apparent drowning off of Lido Beach. It all happened around 10 o'clock last night. Police say a man and woman were swimming when they got caught in a rip current. The woman says she was swept away towards Big Pass, but she was not sure where the man went. It took her an hour to make it back to shore. The man's body was later found on the beach nearby. Investigators do not suspect any foul play. Litter and red tide on Siesta Key has beachgoers concerned, but county leaders say they're on top of it. Sarasota County Beach Manager says turtle season delays the cleanup process because cleanup patrol has to wait to get the go-ahead from Mote Marine Laboratory before they're allowed to start cleaning up, which may be why some people are seeing more trash on the beach early in the morning. She adds that we can all do our part to cut down on litter.
Pick up after yourself, and really we want to preserve these parks and beaches for the future, and it takes everyone to do that. So our word is, pack in, pack out, do your part, clean up, help us clean up, and we'll all enjoy the beaches together.
As for red tide at Siesta Key Beach, Moat says as of today they've seen a small amount of fish washed up and the respiratory issues were not too bad. We'll take a look at this, a hammerhead shark right off the coast of Anna Maria Island. According to the viewer who sent us this video, they were fishing near Bean Point, less than a mile away from Anna Maria, when she came across the 10-foot shark swimming in the Gulf. As they got closer, they saw the shark chasing and catching a tarpon before finally eating it. She says the shark probably was not that hungry since it took so long to eat the tarpon, but then again, it wasn't trying to avoid the boat either. Well, a father and son duo from Sarasota have made it their mission to track down as many Burmese pythons as possible. Tom and Connor Peltier found the snake during their 3-day invasive species tour between Sarasota and South Florida. They caught the python at one of Florida's 22 wildlife management areas where the species can be killed at any time. Wildlife officials say the snake is a threat to other animals in the Everglades.
Every day of the week, it could take down anything from possums, raccoons, fox, bobcats, gators, and it can do this, every few days, every week.
Florida hunters have removed 1,000 invasive Burmese pythons since the state's elimination program started last year. And speaking of snakes, a Sarasota police officer taking matters into his own hands. According to Sarasota Police's Twitter account, Officer Nelson caught this boa constrictor that his wife found. Officer Nelson picked up the 5-foot snake with his bare hands and called Animal Services, who then took it away. And this just goes to show us that there are so many animals here on the Sun Coast. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan, and you can really just find about anything around these parts.
Yeah, quite a bit. Yeah, gators and snakes and all sorts of critters out there right now. It's heat that's bringing them out, I think. They're looking for some cool down. They're not getting much right now. Look at that. Feels like temperature. At this hour, it feels like 89 degrees. That's our normal high for the day. In the afternoon, we had a feels like temperature earlier today at 103 degrees. Yesterday, pretty much the same story. The humidity remains high, obviously. Winds are calm right now. It's not much of a breeze to cool us down. We did have some pretty good rain, though, along the sea breeze front earlier. Some of that activity now is still winding down, but we brought some rain into western portions of Manatee County earlier, also North Sarasota. Had some rain near Wauchula. Again, all that kind of winding on down as it normally does this time of day. A few showers to the north of the Tampa Bay area up in toward Inverness now, but for us, all is quiet. And get a look at the rainfall totals. Not much estimates as far as rainfall estimates go. Had a little bit of rain near Siesta Key and Lido, also up there again near Bayshore Gardens and into South Bradenton, out into toward Anna Maria Island, and the heavier showers, and there weren't much into central Florida. The forecast is calling for those to come to an end tonight out in the Gulf of Mexico, and then we'll see generally sunny skies to start today. It will be another warm one with the heat index up near 100. We'll have more on the rest of the work week forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Jacqueline?
All right, Bob, we'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Tonight, police are looking for the 2 suspected killers of a rapper in South Florida. Jase Onfray, known as XXX Tentacion, was shot and killed in Deerfield Beach. Broward County authorities say 2 men in a dark-colored SUV shot and killed him in an apparent robbery. The Florida native was a controversial figure and had many run-ins with the law. He was currently awaiting trial on charges including domestic battery, aggravated battery, and false imprisonment against his pregnant girlfriend stemming from 2016.
We have a 20-year-old male who came to Riva Motorsport and Marine, apparently just to look at the inventory. Just before 4, as the male left the premises, he was approached by 2 armed suspects.
The rapper recently earned his first #1 album on the all-genre Billboard 200 chart back in March. A Sarasota man has been found dead in New York. State police are continuing their investigation into a tractor-trailer accident that happened over the weekend. 50-year-old Bruce DeBrasio drove off of the road, traveling into the shoulder for a short distance before hitting an overpass and then coming to a stop. He was pronounced dead at the scene. His passenger, 57-year-old Valerie Martin, also from Sarasota, was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. No other vehicles were involved in that accident. Well, gas prices are back down again this week, but experts say that probably won't last long. 44 states saw drops in gas prices this week compared to last week. In Florida, the state average dropped by about a nickel. But according to AAA, gasoline demand has spiked recently, which means they'll likely go up again sometime soon. Another factor in the future, the outcomes from the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, or OPEC, in which gasoline-producing countries will decide how much they'll be producing for the year. That meeting is coming up at the end of this month. The city of Northport is encouraging residents to plan ahead when it comes to parking for its 4th of July celebration and fireworks show. A traffic plan has been posted, including parking lots, road closures, and traffic flow for the signature Northport Freedom Festival. That starts at 6 p.m. on the 4th of July at Northport High School. Due to the thousands of people that attend the event, the parking plan includes details on how lots will empty following the show, a map of the lawn chair seating areas, and drop-off or pickup locations. For more details on that event, head over to our website at mysuncoast.com. Straight ahead, Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast. Plus, the immigration battle continues as pressure mounts on President Trump for separating families at the border, and how Florida Governor Rick Scott is responding to that move. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Sarasota Oxygen and Cpap is the largest locally owned Cpap supply company in the area. Is it time to replace your old equipment? The staff at Sarasota Oxygen and Cpap can show you the most up-to-date Cpap equipment and supplies to meet your sleep apnea needs, including portable travel devices and the SoClean automatic Cpap sanitizer. We serve all of Southwest Florida, giving the highest quality of care with the finest Cpap equipment. Please visit our website, sarasotacpap.com.
Planning a Carnival Fantasy Cruise out of Mobile? Then check out the park and cruise packages at the luxurious Battle House and Renaissance Riverview Plaza hotels. Stay at the Battle House for $169 per night, or the Riverview Plaza for just $149 per night, and leave your car for the duration of your cruise. Includes transportation to and from the cruise terminal. If you're cruising out of Mobile, come stay with us. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com now.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Bob. It has certainly been hot and humid this past weekend. I got a chance to go to the beach and went in the water, and that water felt like bath water.
Yeah, that's where it gets. You know, a couple of months ago, a month ago, it was nice. Water temperatures in the upper 70s, low 80s. Now it's in the upper 80s. And doesn't provide much relief, but we are looking at very warm conditions tonight, despite the fact we had a few showers around that cooled us off. The water temperature is warm, and that means summer is right around the corner. In fact, it starts Thursday officially. I had a chance to talk to the CERT program of Lakewood Ranch, an excellent program out there tonight. Over 100 people on attendance at the town center there in Lakewood Ranch. Beautiful crowd, and these are all the folks that were with the CERT. Now, CERT is the Citizens Emergency Response Team that comes in after hurricanes. They're kind of like the first responders. They are familiar with CPR and also triage, so to speak. So it's a great program. A lot of communities now starting that up, and hopefully it is a huge success. It doesn't need to be used much this season. Casey Key webcam showing a few showers that moved offshore, dissipating right now. Big story right now, weather, is the heavy rainfall that's expected from Mexico, South Texas, all the way up into Louisiana. There's a little disturbed area of tropical moisture there, and it continues to move onshore. You can see it spinning right there. There's not much of a chance of it developing into anything too significant as far as a tropical storm goes, but it will be slow moving, and that means they could see up to a foot of rainfall before it's all said and done over the next 3 to 4 days into West Texas. Different story for us here. As that stays out west, we're going to see a dry air settle in, it looks like, on Tuesday, and that'll stick around for a while. You see that wraparound in a counterclockwise swirl, bringing that rainfall into Corpus Christi and places to the north thereof. There are the showers breaking down now out into the Gulf of Mexico. You may still see some flash of lightning off in the distance there, but had some rain in Bradenton near Anna Maria Island, also near Bayshore Gardens. As I mentioned, all this is going to come to an end out there in the Gulf. We'll start off with sunshine tomorrow. Will be another warm day. We'll have highs into the upper 80s to low 90s, but the heat index will be indeed near 100. Not quite as hot as today, but still there. A few showers expected. Now, even though the dry air will be in place, there's always 1 or 2 showers that'll pop up in that kind of situation, which will bring a few isolated showers. And the rain chance very small, though, 20% Tuesday, Wednesday, and even into Thursday, as a result of high pressure at the surface and that dry air aloft. That will kind of inhibit our normal afternoon thunderstorm pattern here across the state, for that matter. You can see just a little bit of shower activity. Here we are on Wednesday. Normally that's lit up during this time of year, but not the case as a result of that drier air that will be in place. Temperatures currently warm across west central Florida and into North Florida. 81 now in Tallahassee, and temperatures all into the low 80s with the exception of Highlands Park, or Highlands County, now at Avon Park, 79. Look at the water temperature. Jacqueline talked about it, 87 degrees. That is getting up there. Current conditions, 82, and the dew point way up there, 75. The barometer, 30.06 inches, and the high today, 93 degrees. 89 is our average, 93 well above average, and the record 100, though, not close to that. Tomorrow's forecast, then. We'll start off sunshine, a few clouds, and not much rain in the afternoon. Highs will be into the upper 80s to near 90 degrees. Nationally, the big story, obviously, the heavy rainfall down in Texas and storms from Iowa through Wisconsin all the way through parts of Michigan tonight. And highs tomorrow, another hot day in St. Louis, 93. Cleveland a bit cooler, though, 79. For boaters, not much of a wind out there. It looks like seas running really less than 2 feet. Smooth conditions on the bays and inland waters. The forecast looks like this, 20% chance only on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We bounce it back up, but just a 40% chance for scattered storms Friday, Saturday. A little bit better on Sunday. High temperatures staying slightly above seasonal averages. And remember, summer is just around the corner. 6:07 a.m. it officially arrives on Thursday. Jacqueline?
All right, thank you, Bob. Almost here. Well, growing outrage over the images and sounds of young children separated from their parents at the border. An estimated 2,000 kids taken from undocumented immigrants seeking asylum as part of the Trump administration's zero tolerance policy. ABC's Janae Norman has the latest from Washington.
A little girl, one of some 2,000 kids separated from their parents, undocumented immigrants seeking asylum, arrested, detained in cages behind metal fences. A recording first obtained by ProPublica captures the desperation.
The president should not be using these kids as leverage to get a border wall or whatever he's trying to do.
It's obscene.
The president standing firm.
The United States will not be a migrant camp, and it will not be a refugee holding facility. Won't be.
Falsely blaming Democrats, yet defending his own policy, a policy the president himself could end, as it was launched and is enforced by his administration.
But is that the image of this country that you want out there, children?
The image that I want of this country is an immigration system that secures our borders and upholds our humanitarian ideals. Congress needs to fix it.
Among the growing opposition, all 4 living former First Ladies. Rosalind Carter, Hillary Clinton, joining Laura Bush, who wrote in the Washington Post, "This zero-tolerance policy is cruel. It is immoral and it breaks my heart." Michelle Obama retweeting Bush's op-ed, adding, "Sometimes truth transcends party." Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
Representatives from Florida are now heading to Texas to witness the ongoing immigration issue firsthand. Florida Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz hosted a meeting today to discuss President Trump's current policy and how the U.S. deals with immigrants. Wasserman Schultz said she believes the solution will come by way of a separate law and not just an immigration bill. She added that she will head to Texas to see for herself how this immigration issue is unfolding.
The Republicans in Congress can say whatever they want about caring about changing this policy. If they don't pass a separate bill, it's clear that they don't care.
Representatives from the Department of Homeland Security said today that they will not apologize for doing their jobs, and those who enter illegally into this country will be prosecuted. Trump says that Democrats have the power to put a stop to the family separations by working with Republicans in Congress. And the mayor of Tallahassee is calling on the Secretary of Department of Homeland Security to resign due to this immigration policy. In an official press release, he added Kirsten Nielsen's department has lost its moral standing with their actions, and she cannot be trusted to oversee the department anymore. He also called on Governor Rick Scott to issue an executive order. Meanwhile, Governor Rick Scott is distancing himself from the controversy surrounding the president's policy of separating undocumented migrant children from families at the U.S. border. Scott, a Republican looking to take over U.S. Senator Bill Nelson's seat, said he does not support that policy. In other news, new developments now on the roller coaster derailment that happened in Daytona Beach last week. A lawsuit is now pending from at least 3 victims who were severely injured when that roller coaster malfunctioned. One of the victims was hurled out of the roller coaster, falling a little over 34 feet to the ground.
When she fell from the roller coaster, she bounced like a ping pong ball in between the railings of the roller coaster.
It's kind of premature to come out with a final root cause. That is, our objective in this matter is to do a full-on investigation of the actual site.
At a news conference today, the attorney representing the 3 victims said they'll reconsider the lawsuit if the insurance companies responsible for the roller coaster do the right thing. Sports is next, but first, here's what's coming up on Jimmy Kimmel.
New tonight, see what happens when Kimmel faces Cruz. Tough shots and even tougher questions.
In the spirit of bipartisanship, we're going to shorten the game to 11.
Plus, Jeff Goldblum stops by. Jimmy Kimmel Live, new tonight on ABC.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help. With Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Did you know that a dirty Cpap system can make you sick?
If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated hands-free Cpap cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all Cpap germs. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean works on all Cpap machines and popular masks, destroying Cpap bacteria, viruses, and germs without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and in just minutes, voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398. Or visit SoClean.com today.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Letting my friends online know I was quitting kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it. You can too.
For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Now, sports.
The Rays playing the Houston Astros today, and they're red-hot, winning 11 games in a row. It was a close game, though. Ultimately, the Astros took home that win tonight, 5-1. And the Washington Capitals are looking for a new coach. Barry Trotz abruptly stepped down as the coach of the hockey team today after failing to agree to terms on a new contract. That leaves the newly minted Stanley Cup champions without a coach, with the draft coming up later this week and free agency opening next month. Trotz and the team could not agree on an annual salary that would have put him in line with other Cup-winning coaches. That's said to be about 3 times the salary he would get from his extension. Well, a man-made earthquake in Mexico City. Yes, you heard me right on that one. Apparently, after Mexico scored what would be the game-winning goal in the World Cup over Germany, they jumped and cheered so much that they registered a false earthquake. The Institute for Geological and Atmospherical Investigations tweeted seismographic readings highlighting activity at the time. However, neither the U.S. Geological Survey or Mexico's National Seismological Service reported any earthquake in Mexico City. Well, it was a celebrity grudge match that pitted a comedy star against a political powerhouse. It all started when Jimmy Kimmel made fun of the senator for tweeting a picture where Kimmel said Senator Ted Cruz looked like a, quote, blobfish. Cruz then challenged Kimmel to a game with the proceeds going to charity. Saturday's event was appropriately dubbed the Blobfish Basketball Classic. For the final score, you can check out the highlights coming up in the next half hour on Jimmy Kimmel right here on ABC7. Well, that's a look at sports. We'll have tonight's winning lotto number straight ahead.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Sarasota Oxygen and Cpap is the largest locally owned Cpap supply company in the area. Is it time to replace your old equipment? The staff at Sarasota Oxygen and Cpap can show you the most up-to-date Cpap equipment and supplies to meet your sleep apnea needs, including portable travel devices and the SoClean automatic Cpap sanitizer. We serve all of Southwest Florida, giving the highest quality of care with the finest Cpap equipment. Please visit our website, sarasotacpap.com.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to mesobook.com.
I'm Deshauna Barber. In 2016, I was proud to win the title of Miss USA. What makes me just as proud is my service in the U.S. military. In the service, a soldier gains skills and learns values like discipline and leadership. That makes them an asset to any business that hires them. If you're an employer, on behalf of Coalition to Salute America's Heroes, remember to hire smart and bet on a vet. Visit saluteheroes.org or call this number to learn more.
The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
Young filmmakers in Sarasota are off to a creative start. Kids ages 7 to 17 are getting the chance to take part in the Sarasota Film Camp, where they can learn all stages of the filmmaking process, from producing to screenwriting, cinematography, and post-production. These students have the opportunity to study some big names in the movie business, as well as make their very own YouTube videos.
I'm learning a lot about different angles and about different camera views and how lights affect how it is, and how a different camera can have a different wide angle lens and stuff like that. I'm learning a lot about how to improve my videos.
Well, at the end of the camp in mid-July, a screening will be held for the public featuring all the films created during this camp. And you know, I took a camp like that when I was younger, when I was in middle school, and I think that kind of spawned my interest.
There you go.
In
Yeah,
this
we got
career. I really do.
future broadcasters there, actors and actresses. Beautiful shots tonight. Get a look at these. This is some Dylan John Wade Cox. There's some lightning out there in the Gulf of Mexico. You see that one strike away from the rain area. You always keep an eye out for that. And Cindy Desmond getting that nice shot. Some great shots here. Fred Seeger with the sunset going down, and Dave Beachy wrapping things up with the flag there. Nice shots, and wanted to get to show those. We've got nice weather tomorrow, albeit on the warm side, so keep that in mind.
All right, thank you, Bob. And thank you all for joining us tonight. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. Have a good evening.